Hi, I'm Muhammed and Hamdan, and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. New evidence gathered in 80 million ringgit JCAF book printing corruption case. And Doit Now QR fees to be discussed in NACC meeting on Tuesday. Good morning. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC revealed that a lot of new evidence has been gathered in its investigation into the issue of corruption related to a book printing project at the Education Ministry, MOE. Its Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said this follows the arrest of two individuals, including a former political secretary, to assist in the investigation of the 80 million ringgit project for the printing of JCAF books for preschools. According to Azam, MACC investigating officers are still actively pursuing the case and declined to confirm whether the graftbuster would summon former Education Minister Datuk Razzie Jidin to record his statement over his alleged link to the project.
Hubung dengan pemanggilan beliau, saya serah kepada Peguam Penyiasat dan banyak bukti-bukti baru yang telah dikumpulkan, saya difahamkan oleh Peguam Penyiasat. Jadi kita masih teruskanlah. Jadi kes ni baru dalam tempoh terdekat ni kita jalankan siasatan, jadi bagi masa kita sikitlah.
Azam was speaking after attending the 2023 MACC shooting program with the media, held in conjunction with its 56th anniversary at the Malaysian Prisons College shooting range in Kajang on Saturday. On September 23rd, MACC Deputy Chief Commissioner for Operations, Datuk Sri Ahmad Kushairi Yahaya, confirmed the arrest of the former political secretary and a printing company owner on September 22nd to assist in the investigation of the case under the MACC Act. Both were alleged to have conspired with the former minister to solicit and receive a bribe in return for the approval of the book project through direct negotiations. Razzie, however, has denied his involvement in the matter. On another matter, the MACC said it is in the process of finalising several documents to complete a red notice application to Interpol over two individuals, including the son-in-law of former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. Azam said among the documents that were being finalised was the draft of the charges relating to the case involving both individuals.
Permohonan kepada Interpol kita tidak boleh buat sendiri, ya. SPRM tidak ada tidak boleh membuat permohonan direct kepada Interpol dan mesti melalui polis. Dan melalui polislah yang kita kemukakan apakah kehendak-kehendak Interpol. Jadi yang terbaru ni Interpol meminta beberapa lagi dokumen-dokumen tertentu untuk dipenuhi ikut kehendak mereka lah.
He added that all of the documents will be handed over to the police on Monday. On Friday, Deputy Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said the police were awaiting technical information from the MACC to complete the red notice application. Both individuals, namely 48-year-old Datuk Sri Muhammad Adlan Berhan, who is Muhyiddin's son-in-law, and his 69-year-old lawyer Mansur Saad, were being sought by the MACC to help its probe into a case of misappropriation involving the registration, recruitment and biometric storage of foreign workers in a ministry. However, immigration records showed both individuals left Malaysia on May 17th and 21st respectively and have yet to return to the country. Moving on, the imposition of a transaction fee for Doit Now QR payments will be discussed at a special meeting of the National Action Council on Cost of Living, NACC, this Tuesday. Deputy Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Fuzia Saleh said the meeting would be chaired by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and will be attended by representatives of Bank Negara Malaysia as the regulator of the country's banking sector. According to Fuzia, nearly 1.9 million people use the Doit Now QR platform for cashless transactions. Thus, her ministry is concerned that imposing the transaction fee would affect users and impede the implementation of the country's digitalization programs as outlined under the 12th Malaysia Plan. She added that the ministry is also worried that the transaction fee will have a negative impact on micro and small traders who have adopted digital payment methods in their businesses. On Friday, Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, gave his assurance that the transaction fee charged to vendors for payments received via the Doit Now QR platform starting November 1st will not burden the low-income groups. He said this when commenting on Payments Network Malaysia Sdn Berhad's confirmation on the matter a day earlier. However, several banks have announced that they are extending the waiver on transaction fees for all merchants accepting payments via Doit Now QR until further notice. A special grant to Sarawak will remain at 300 million ringgit for the 2024 budget. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said that a new formula for the calculation of the grant had yet to be finalised, but it had been agreed that the amount would be retained for Sarawak next year.
The 300 million is subject to the gazette. Once gazette, then they will pay.
Ia termasuk dalam pelancaran atau
Once saya perlu lagi memang sudah sepatutnya memang ada lah. Sebab it's already agreed. So definitely it will be in the budget lah.
He said this at the official ceremony for Berandau Day and the Sarawak Cocoa Cluster Cooperative in Kota Samarahan, Sarawak on Saturday. The special grants to Sarawak and Sabah are stipulated under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution. In January, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that the special grant to Sarawak would be raised to 300 million ringgit from 16 million ringgit, while Sabah would receive 260 million ringgit. He also said the special grants would be reviewed every 5 years so that a more reasonable sum could be allocated. The government's decision to return the assets of Lembaga Tabung Haji (TH) follows a successful restructuring and recovery plan implemented by the Pilgrimage Fund. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dr. Muhammed said the decision was also made considering the current financial capability and stability of TH. In a statement on Saturday, Muhammad Naim said TH will hold official discussions with the Finance Ministry, MOF, on the steps that should be taken to retrieve its assets. He added that his ministry will continue to elevate TH through integrity and professionalism in an effort to safeguard the interests of all Muslims and depositors. In 2018, TH transferred its underperforming assets valued at nearly 19.9 billion ringgit to a special purpose vehicle SPV under the MOF to consolidate its financial position. On Friday, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that all the assets that were handed over to the SPV would be returned to TH. He added that the move was also to quash claims by certain quarters that TH assets parked under the SPV were handed over to non-Muslim ownership, which he said was untrue. Secretaries General and department heads have been reminded to take the warnings contained in the Auditor General's report seriously to reduce issues of wastage, mismanagement and abuse of power. Public Service Department PSD Director General Datuk Zulkifli Muhammad stated that this step is an effort to uphold the integrity and accountability of the civil service. Zulkifli said the Secretaries General and department heads were also advised to be prepared for any warnings in the audit report that will be presented in Parliament next month. He added that all public servants should also uphold the values of integrity in efforts to strengthen economic development as outlined in the Madani Economy Framework. Zulkifli said this in a statement issued on Saturday in conjunction with the inaugural Integrity Empowerment Conference organised by the PSD last Wednesday. He also said with a strong commitment to combating corruption and abuse of power through integrity, public servants can elevate Malaysia as a dignified and respected advanced nation on the international stage. Among the objectives of the conference were to provide a platform for exchanging views, finding the best methods to improve governance aspects in the execution of the functions and responsibilities of ministries, departments and agencies, as well as discussing various issues related to audit findings and improvement measures. The flood situation in Kedah is showing signs of improvement, with the number of evacuees dropping from 1,383 to 437 on Saturday. According to the State Civil Defence Force Disaster Management Secretariat, only 3 relief centres are still operational as of 10 p.m. compared to 12 earlier in the morning. All the 3 relief centres are in Kota Star, namely SK Taman Aman, which houses a total of 277 victims, SK Seri Gunung with 103 victims, as well as SMK Alor Merah with 57 evacuees. Good weather with relatively low rainfall over the past 2 days allowed the floodwater to recede in most of the affected areas, allowing the victims to return home. Clean-up work had also started with the assistance of the Civil Defence Force, the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department, as well as volunteers from within and outside of Kedah. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim wants arts and cultural activities in Malaysia, such as painting, poetry, film, theatre and dance, to be strengthened in tandem with economic progress. The Prime Minister said the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry has a crucial role in organising programs that can elevate Malaysian arts and culture on the international stage.
Pemerkasaan ekonomi dan pemerkasaan budaya, seni dan budaya. Dan dalam negara kita, dengan kepelbagaian ini adalah kekuatan. Tidak banyak negara di dunia yang boleh mempamerkan seni dan budaya Melayu sebagai terasnya, suku-suku kaum yang lain dari Perlis sampai ke Sabah.
He said this in his speech at the Putrajaya Culture Festival 2023 held at Dataran Putrajaya on Saturday night. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, gave his assurance that focus will be given in the upcoming 2024 budget to strengthen the country's tourism industry, considering it is a significant sector contributing to the nation's revenue, as well as the empowerment of arts and culture. Themed Unity Through Culture and Arts, the festival, which ends on Sunday, witnessed a historic entry into the Malaysia Book of Records with the first ever international-scale Mega Dikir Barat and Paluan Rebana concert, accompanied by a traditional instruments orchestra. All Road Transport Department RTD related services are expected to be available on the MyJPJ application by 2025. Its Director General Dato' Rospia Gostaha said the target was in line with the department's desire to fully digitalise its services within the time frame. However, he pointed out that it all depends on how well the system developed through the MyJPJ application works.
Buat masa ini belum lagi pilot project hanya di kalangan warga JPA dahulu. Kita nak tengok sejauh mana stabilnya sistem ini. Kita nak nanti bila kita launch saja, kita lancarkan, tiba-tiba ada berlaku masalah sistem dan sebagainya.
Rospiagos told this to reporters after officiating the passing out parade of RTD Officer Basic Training Course 2023 in Air Molek, Melaka on Saturday. Currently, the public can use the MyJPJ app, which was released in February, to obtain a few RTD-related services, such as checking the status of their driver's license, vehicle insurance and road tax information, as well as summonses or demerit points. After this breather, US government on brink of shutdown. Stay tuned. U.S. government on Saturday was hours from shutting down after the hard right of the Republican Party scuppered final attempts at a temporary budget agreement, throwing into doubt everything from access to national parks to Washington's massive support for Ukraine. On Friday, House Republicans defeated a plan proposed by their own leader, Speaker Kevin McCarthy, to keep funds flowing, deepening the sense of growing chaos within the party ahead of 2024 U.S. elections, where former President Donald Trump hopes to return to the White House. All Democrats and 21 Republicans voted against the measure, which would have cut most Democratic programs by 30%. However, it remains unclear what exactly will come next, as McCarthy said he would support a clean stopgap funding bill that would not include aid to Ukraine. The closure of all but critical government services set to start at 12:01 local time on Sunday if lawmakers fail to reach a deal, immediately delaying salaries for millions of federal employees and military personnel. Also in the U.S., a state of emergency has been declared in New York City and 2 other surrounding areas on Friday after extreme rainfall caused widespread flooding in the northeast region. State Governor Kathy Hochul declared emergency after more than 12.7 centimeters of rain fell in some areas overnight, with as much as 18 centimeters more expected throughout the day. According to the National Weather Service, about 8.5 million people were under flash flood warnings as the overflow disrupted subway services, inundated ground-level apartments and turned some streets into small lakes. However, no deaths or critical injuries have been reported so far. More than 25 years after the killing of Tupac Shakur, a self-described gang member who has repeatedly proclaimed that he participated in the drive-by shooting, was indicted on a murder charge, reviving a blockbuster investigation that had long stalled. Prosecutors allege Dwayne Keith Davis to having admitted to serving as the on-site commander of the effort to kill Tupac after the rapper was involved in a fight with his nephew, Orlando Anderson, who was a long-time suspect in the killing. According to officials, the development was made possible in part by Davis himself, who described his involvement in the drive-by shooting in a 2019 memoir. A grand jury in Clark County then finally indicted Davis on 1 count of murder with use of a deadly weapon, plus a gang enhancement. Despite plentiful speculation, evidence and reporting across nearly 3 decades, no charges had ever been filed in the shooting of Tupac, but talk of the case was revived in July when the Las Vegas police executed a search warrant at her home in Nevada connected to Davis. Car emerges overall. 2022 Hangzhou Asian Games, Malaysia bagged 6 more medals on Saturday for a total of 17. The national squash team delivered a gold and bronze medal, while another 4 came from the diving and athletics events. In the squash event, the national women's after they came from behind to beat Hong Kong 2-1 on Saturday. Malaysia's world number 32, Rachel Arnold, lost the first match to Tong Tze Wing. But as Sivasanggari put Malaysia back in the game when she defeated Ho Tze Lok before Aifa Azman delivered the winning point as she outplayed Chan Sin Yuk. Unfortunately, their men's team counterparts failed to defend their 2018 gold medal. The team of Adin Idraki, Ng Yan Yao, Shafiq Kamal and Ivan Yuen had to settle for bronze after losing to India in the semi-finals. In the diving event, Pandelela Rinong and Dabita Sabri waited until the 5th and final dive to confirm the bronze medal in the women's 10-meter synchronized platform final. The pair finished the 5-dive competition with 266.94 points to edge South Korea's Moon Na-yoon and Cho Yoon-bi to the bronze medal. Muhammad Shafiq Putih and Ui Zeliang contributed the second diving medal in the men's 3-meter springboard synchro final. The newly formed duo secured 380.22 points to take the bronze. In the athletics event, national runner Shireen Shamson Veloboy bagged the bronze medal in the 400-meter race final. The US-based 25-year-old sprinter clocked 52.58 seconds to finish behind Bahrain duo Oluwakemi Mujidat Adekoya and Salwa Eid Nasir. In the 100 meters event, national sprint king Muhammad Azim Fahmi had to be satisfied with a bronze medal. Azim clocked a time of 10.11 seconds with China's Xie Zhenya taking the gold, while Puripol Bunsan settled for silver. And turning to cycling now, the 2023 Le Tour de Langkawi, the pace was frenetic from the gun, but it was not enough to stop EF Education Easy Post Simon Carr from becoming the first British general classification winner on Saturday. The 8th and final stage, which started in Setia Alam and ended in Kuala Lumpur city centre, covering a distance of 156.5 kilometres, witnessed Carr safely crossing the line in 62nd place in the same group as stage winner Gleb Syriza of Astana, Kazakhstan. Carr took home the green jersey as the overall champion with a cumulative time of 29 hours, 17 minutes and 41 seconds. Syriza, who won the second stage on Sunday, outkicked Kaha Rural Seguros RGA Daniel Babor to the line, with Tudor Pro cycling team's Arvid de Klein completing the 8th stage podium. National team rider Hizad Hilmi Abdul Halil did well to place 5th on the day. It was, however, not enough to stop de Klein from taking home the orange jersey as the sprint king. Tudor teammate Simon Pello, who was again in the breakaway on Saturday, claimed the polka dot jersey as the king of mountain with 32 points. The white jersey, as the best Asian rider, went to Astana's Vadim Pronsky. Football now, the 2023 Super League. 2 matches took place on Saturday night. Kedah Darul Aman FC recorded a slim 1-0 win over Kuala Lumpur City FC, while Sri Pahang FC claimed a 3-2 victory over Kuching City FC. Stefano Brundo put Sri Pahang in front 13 minutes into the game, with Kuching City levelling the score 3 minutes later through Pedro Enriquez's effort. Abu Kamara then doubled the advantage for the Cats in the 25th minute, but Sri Pahang managed to close the gap just before half-time thanks to Kuvondik Rizlav. Rafael Silva completed the victory for the hosts with a 3rd goal in the 62nd minute. With the win, Sri Pahang climbed to 4th in the standings, 43 points, while Kuching City stuck at the bottom with 7 points. Motorcar nurse allegedly stabbed to death by husband. Don't go away. Welcome back. In Perlis, a nurse was allegedly stabbed to death by her husband in their home in Jalan Padang New, Arau on Saturday. District Police Chief Superintendent Ahmad Madrodi said the 31-year-old victim was believed to have been stabbed in the chest with a knife based on the stab wound, which was about 2 centimeters deep. In the incident, which occurred at about 6 a.m., the 38-year-old suspect, who is a retired soldier, was believed to have been involved in an argument with the victim due to jealousy.
Motif ni suspek mengaku kata cemburu berpunca kita syaki jugalah, dan dia mengaku daripada cemburu lah sebab dia syok kata isteri dia berlaku curang. Tapi kita masih dalam siasatan lah sebab daripada kita semakan awal kita dia ada rekod dadah.
According to authorities, the victim's body was discovered in a pool of blood and covered with a thick blanket in the bedroom of the house after her husband surrendered himself at the Perlis Contingent Police Headquarters at about 10 a.m. Police also found a knife believed to have been used as the murder weapon by the suspect, kept in a bag in the kitchen. The victim's body was sent to the Sultanah Bahia Hospital in Alustar for post-mortem. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for murder. 10-year-old Punitamala Rajashekar recently secured a Guinness World Record for her skill in arranging a chessboard while blindfolded. But it's her actual talent that will amaze you. FMT's Tivia Ragu reports.
It was at this very school in Perak where a prodigy's unique talent recently earned her a Guinness World Record. Punitamala Rajashekar has been making waves across social media recently thanks to her inexplicable talent that is very possibly one of a kind in this country. On May 19, the 10-year-old achieved the fastest time for arranging the pieces of a chess set while blindfolded, completing it in just 45.72 seconds, which secured her the Guinness World Record. Now, if you're thinking she trained for months to identify the chess pieces by touch, you're mistaken. Instead, Punitamala has an exceedingly rare gift. She's apparently able to see what's in front of her even while blindfolded.
First, நான் இந்த திறமை இருக்குன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டக்கு அப்புறம் நான் வந்து சென்சஸ்ல தான் யூஸ் பண்ணேன். ஸோ வந்து நான் வீட்டில் வந்து அன்னடிக்கும் ட்ரைனிங் பண்ண ஐ கேன் சி என்னால் வந்து நார்மலாக இப்போ வந்து கண்ணை திறந்துட்டு எல்லா மனிதர்களும் நார்மலாக பார்க்குறாங்களே, ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி என்னால் கண்ணு கட்டிட்டு இருக்கும் போது பார்க்க முடியும்.
Skeptics might find this hard to believe, but FMT Lifestyle witnessed her remarkable ability firsthand in the premises of her school, SJKT Menglembu, where the record-breaking event took place. We began with a simple task, identifying words written down on a piece of paper while blindfolded.
Selamat datang.
Any idea?
Yeah.
What is it?
Merdeka.
Then we progressed to more challenging tasks, such as reading the serial numbers on a banknote and flipping to the exact page number of a book as indicated. Punitamala can also mimic the physical gestures of a person even from a distance.
First, நான் நம்பல. That's true. First, நான் நம்பல. Okay, அவங்களுக்கு எடுத்து பண்ணிட்டு did a lot of research. எங்கேயுமே கிடைக்கல answer. Okay, இதெல்லாம் true. Okay, ஓப்பனா சொல்றேன். எங்கேயுமே கிடைக்கல.
To add an extra layer of credibility, Rajashekar explains that they opted for the Guinness World Records because of its stringent rules and thorough verification process, leaving little to no room for doubt. While the origins of Punitamala's gift remain a mystery, her father speculates it could be linked to her daily practice of yoga and meditation, as there's a yogi in India with a similar talent. What we can see is that this small-town girl's ability is by all accounts no joke. In fact, she was recently the second runner-up in Malaysia's Kids Got Talent competition, which qualifies her to audition for America's Got Talent in October. Punitamala's achievements are proof that Malaysia has its share of impressive, if not downright amazing individuals eager to leave their mark on the world. Tivia Ragu, FMT Lifestyle for Nightline.
Nightline this time around, let's take a look as a huge, ornate, straw-stuffed dragon danced through the narrow streets of a historic neighborhood in Hong Kong, wowing thousands of spectators as this century-old ritual returned after a 4-year hiatus. With that, I'm Muhammed and Hamdan. Thanks for watching and have a restful Sunday ahead.